Behind every BP fill-up, thousands of people across America go to work every day. People producing energy offshore. People turning it into products at our refineries. People doing R&D to make products that are better for your engine. People trading and shipping fuels to their destinations. And the people who help you at one of BP's growing family of retail stations. They're part of almost 300,000 jobs BP supports across the country. Learn more at bp.com/investing in America.
We all know those GLP-1 injections work wonders, but that price tag almost gave me a heart attack when my insurance denied coverage. I was staring at a choice between paying my mortgage or paying for weight loss. Talk about a rock and a hard place. Then I found Elevate Health compounded semaglutide at just $58 with payment plans that don't require a second mortgage. Same medication, same results, but a price that real folks can actually afford. Visit joinelevate.com today. That's JOINELEVATE.com. Your wallet will be as happy as your waistline. This medication is not FDA approved.
Hello everyone, and welcome to the Kulturecast. I'm Chris Stachiw.
And I'm Sean Liang.
And today we're going to be talking about Howard the Fuck. Oh wait, no, what was it, Sean? Howard the Duck.
Oh, that's right. Siri just auto.
Howard the Fuck. Serious auto-correcting problems. Howard the Fuck. But before we get to talking about Howard the Duck, one of George Lucas presents Howard the Duck. Have you been watching anything, Sean?
I just saw Krampus the other day, actually, and I loved it.
Yeah?
I really did, man. It was really good. It was like the perfect amount of cheese and the perfect amount of scary. I loved it. It was a great cast. I was so good.
That's on my list of movies.
It's fun, man. It's a lot of fun.
I don't know if it's playing around me, so I don't. That's the only issue.
Oh, I see.
I finished up watching Jessica Jones.
Oh, did you?
I liked it.
Yeah.
I thought it kind of dragged near the end.
I'm right at the end. I still haven't finished the last 2 episodes.
It kind of starts to drag a little bit.
Oh, man.
Because it feels like they're just kind of... It feels like it takes them a really long time to get to the end, and it feels like they're just trying to pad it out to get to 12 episodes.
Yeah, that makes sense. I think that's why I haven't finished it yet, because I'm kind of at the end of the slow part.
Yeah.
So I know the last 2 episodes are going to be interesting.
Yeah. But let's talk about Howard the Duck.
Let's do that.
Let's talk about Howard the Duck. It was released in 1986. Like I said, it was very emblazoned on the front of the film. George Lucas presents Howard the Duck. The IMDb synopsis for the film is: a sarcastic humanoid duck is pulled from his homeworld to Earth, where he must stop an alien invader.
Across the sea of stars lies another world, a world almost exactly like ours. This is where he lives. He's 27 years old, single but searching. Favorite sports, windsurfing and Aikido. Favorite pastimes, cigars and sex. He has everything except fulfillment. And then one night, it happens.
Hey, good buddy, are you home?
He has a very sudden midlife crisis. He lands in Cleveland.
You do know why you were sent to me.
Film stars Lea Thompson, Jeffrey Jones, Tim Robbins, and that's really it for notable people.
And Jorley McLean for me. She was a standout.
That's right. Sean, what'd you think of this film?
It was okay. I'll be honest. Let me say this: it was kind of hard to watch, but I don't know why. It's like I noticed that I had to keep rewinding because I would stop paying attention to the movie. But when I watched it, like it wasn't bad. Like it wasn't Garbage Pail Kids bad. You know what I mean? There was thought behind it, and I enjoyed the story. But I just couldn't. There's something about it that couldn't keep my attention. I don't know. Maybe I just was distracted.
I actually kind of liked it.
Did you really?
Kind of liked it.
I'm not saying it was bad.
So like fucking stupid in the least offensive way.
Right.
Like, it's a stupid movie.
It is.
And it's a bad movie, but, you know, it's bad in like an endearing way.
Yeah, no, I totally, and that's, I did like it. It's like when I paid attention, I enjoyed the movie. But I just couldn't, I don't know, man. I just couldn't stand it.
And, you know, I feel like I understand why this movie is so just ragged upon.
Yeah.
I mean, understandably so. It deserves a lot of the kind of criticism that it gets.
Totally. But there's, like you said, there's something that you can kind of, I loved the characters, you know what I mean? Like, I really did like Lea Thompson. And I swear to you, I loved Crystal the waitress.
That's so random.
I know, it is, but actually it's not, and I'll tell you about that later. But I just, yeah, I don't know. Maybe I just need to watch it in a better mind space.
It, you know, it's one of those movies where I do understand the hatred for it, but it's just so kind of charming in a stupid way that I can't help but like it.
Right, and as people who watch terrible movies constantly, this isn't terrible in the way that it's unwatchable. It's absolutely fun, and then there's things, like you said, that are endearing about it.
Yeah, I mean, you know, I have to give this movie props. Howard the Duck, I know that's something that's kind of constantly ragged upon, you know. Howard the Duck looks really fake. I mean, it's the mid 80s.
Yeah, and they commit.
It was full physical effects. It was it was a little guy in a suit.
It was many little guys in a suit.
Yeah. It looks way better than the Garbage Pail Kids, which came out a year after this movie?
Yeah, and they did essentially the same things.
Yeah, I mean, it's a little guy in a suit. It's a small person actor in a suit.
And it's actually really good acting too. You know what I mean?
I actually don't have a problem at all with the Howard the Duck character.
Yeah, I like him.
Yeah, he's kind of like a dick. He knows if there's one problem that I don't have with this movie, it's the Howard the Duck character.
Exactly, which is good for that's a good thing going for it, because that's a lot of movies like they mess up. I mean,
Howard the Duck's a dick,
right? And
he makes he's a wisecracking dickhead duck character,
right? But he's kind of lovable because of that.
Yeah, who's hitting on Lea Thompson. And wants to fuck Lea Thompson.
Yeah, there's that tension there.
And I think I can go on record in saying I totally would have watched it.
I know. We were ready for it. You know,
I was waiting for it. I was like, okay, let's watch this. Because first off, if you're not aware, ducks have barbed penises. Right?
I kept thinking about that the first time she pulled out the little condom.
Yeah, it's I don't know how a condom would work because ducks have barbs on their penises.
That's how they survived.
Yeah, the character of Howard the Duck is not the issue with this movie.
No way.
I think the issue with this movie is the story.
Yeah,
it takes way too long to get going.
It does, and it's kind of it totally changes pace in weird places. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, halfway through the movie, it all of a sudden becomes this chase movie.
Yeah.
After it just being kind of like a fish out of water story for the first 45 minutes.
Right.
I mean, that's the real issue with this movie is it's almost 2 hours long.
That's what it is, and it starts off with, and it's exactly like you said. We don't even know that there's a demon that's attacking Earth until almost halfway through the movie, right? That's a total plot shift.
Well, yeah, I mean, Jeffrey Jones's character isn't introduced to the film until at least 40 minutes.
Right, that's a long time, man.
Yeah, and for that to be the kind of the main conflict of the film, and they introduce it almost halfway through the movie,
right.
That's not great.
Right, it's two different movies. That's what we kind of are seeing,
Yeah, because the first part of the movie really is just a duck out of water story.
Right, I would have been satisfied with getting him back home. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I kind of expected that to be what it was.
What I find really kind of funny about this movie, is that Lucas stepped down as president of Lucasfilm so that he could focus on producing films, namely this one.
Interesting.
I mean, and this movie was panned when it came out.
Yeah.
Its budget was $37 million. It made $38 million, so it barely broke even. And people always make this joke that Howard the Duck is one of the worst movies ever.
Hey, this is Jason Kleberg from the Force 5 podcast, a show that forces a guest to come up with a movie-themed top 5 list topic, and then we reveal our picks on air. Top 5 heist films, top 5 tearjerkers, top 5 movie dogs. Every show you'll be asking yourself, what would be on my list? Guests include directors, screenwriters, actors, podcasters, musicians, authors, and even a professional wrestler. Subscribe to the Force 5 podcast, and you won't just be a listener, you'll be a list nerd. The Force 5 podcast, available wherever you're listening now.
Hello, filthy movie lovers. My name is Gentry Austin.
And I'm Casey Scott.
And we're the hosts of the Sin Syndicate, film podcast for something weirdos, anti-criterion bros, and Joseph Sarno aficionados. Join us semi-weekly as we peer into the adults-only theaters and sticky-floored cinemas of the golden age of sexploitation, when the morals were loose, the laws were murky, and the intercourse was all simulated. Find us now on the Someone's Favorite Productions podcast network.
For me.
That's interesting.
But I don't get that.
I can't buy that. I actually don't buy that. And I think it might be like a time thing. You know, obviously it is. But like personally, I've always heard of Howard the Duck in a positive light. And this is coming from someone who was born after it was made. You know what I mean? Like, so this is a movie that I've seen on TV constantly. There's something, the fact that it keeps coming back says something about it. I mean, it's a cult classic, you know?
Yeah, I don't understand the hatred towards this movie when it makes lists that are the worst movies of all time, when lists like when films like Mac and Me or The Garbage Pail Kids or Troll 2 are part of that list. Like I've seen those films.
It can't be in the same world, you know? Like it can't be.
Yeah. It's kind of just a movie whose tone is so starkly different from the first half and the second half of the film that it doesn't really ever get a chance to get going in either part.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. I would have honestly rather just seen a movie about Howard the Duck trying to figure out a way to get home with the Beverly character played by Lea Thompson, them just kind of figuring that out, rather than all of a sudden this Dark Overlord of the universe invading Jeffrey Jones's character.
Exactly.
It's kind of like weird. There's like a whole like diner scene that feels like a half an hour.
Yeah, exactly. That's like that's when the whole thing shifted, but that's when I also got.
Yeah.
You know.
I really like the Jeffrey Jones character though. Like that voice.
Yeah. And
his performance just is like, oh man.
Absolutely. I thought he was great. He's
like buying in 100%.
Yeah, he is, man. That voice was great because it was mostly just him putting on his voice.
Actually, that wasn't even his voice.
It wasn't?
No, it was someone else's voice. It was an actor, Brian Steele, did the voice for the Dark Lord of the Universe, which I honestly was surprised by when I read that.
I thought it was
because it sounds like Jeffrey Jones's voice.
I thought that meant like the monster.
No, it says voice. Yeah,
that's
voice.
Weird. I don't know. Well, but when he's sitting at the table, some of that is definitely him, right? Like that's like when he's the beginning transition. Like there's a moment where like you can see he's committing to something that is just absurd, but he's going all in. I mean, even if he isn't making the voice, watching him transform at that dinner table is really funny.
Yeah, everything I think about his character is really great. And his performance, like I said, he really just buys in.
Yeah.
I also really like Chip Zien, who does the voice for Howard the Duck.
Yeah, he was fun. I liked it.
They had talked to some other people to possibly play Howard the Duck. John Cusack and Martin Short were looked at as possibly doing the voice for Howard the Duck.
Interesting.
Which Martin Short as Howard the Duck, I could see that.
Yeah, that would be a different.
John Cusack, not so much.
Oh my God.
I just imagine John Cusack's character from High Fidelity, like those lines being said by Howard the Duck.
Right. I don't think
I just can't imagine that shit.
Exactly. I think it was too swap.
But Martin Short, totally. Like
that would be fun.
A little bit more on the neurotic side.
Of course, yeah.
Yeah.
But it's animated, so it's fun. That could be cool.
What did you think of the beginning of the film with him being in Duck World?
I thought that was fun. I'm so glad that they showed that because it set the tone. Like it got me used to like looking at Howard. You know what I mean? Like it sort of made it okay. I don't know. I really appreciated the opening. And like it was so absurd. Like I was dying at the woman in the bathtub.
Duck tits.
Yeah, the duck tits right in the first fight.
Literally duck breasts with giant pink nipples.
That's right. She was drinking a martini in her bathtub. She didn't care. It was so.
No one was fazed by Howard the Duck flying through an apartment on like a lounge, like a lounge chair.
On a lazy boy.
Right? No one was really kind of taken aback.
No, they're like, oh, ducks, you know.
Flying around.
And on the street was like, cool.
And then he lands on Earth, and like there's like a bunch of gang members that are like throwing him around like 2 minutes into him being on Earth.
Like he runs into like prostitutes on the street and like everything.
Satan's sluts.
Yeah, exactly.
The like female motorcycle gang of Satan's sluts.
That was great. Those jackets.
You know, with a movie that looks like this, you would almost assume it's like a kid's movie.
Right.
But then a lot of the stuff in the movie really out of context, it's not a kid's movie. And even in context, it's not a kid's movie. I mean, at one point, Howard the Duck is hitting on Lea Thompson to the point where she is going to fuck him.
Exactly.
If Tim Robbins' character, which we'll talk about his character in this movie here in a second. Yeah. If he and Jeffrey Jones had not come in, they would have fucked.
Oh yeah, that's what was going to happen,
right?
We were about to watch it. We were okay.
Yeah, I would have watched.
Right,
it. I would have sat there with a bottle of lotion, just fucking wait. Give me some of that duck loving, dude.
Oh my god, that's an image.
I mean, that's what the movie's conditioned us to do. It's conditioned us to feel okay with it.
It does, but it does that. I think that's what that opening scene does. Like, I mean, he turns on the TV and there's a commercial for Jock Itch, and that's a little bit startling. But then, like, he goes...
And then he scratches his ball.
Yeah, and then he's, like, thinking about, maybe I should, because he just had this message from this girl who had a dream about him where he needs to come over and see what the rest happens. You know what I mean? So then he goes flying through this apartment and we see duck tits. And, like, they establish right away that this isn't for kids. You know what I mean? And I think that the tone sort of... And that's what's kind of hard, I think, for an audience to accept, maybe. But...
What is it? The film is just so tonally all over the place?
I guess so, but I think it's a shame.
I think what the problem is it's hard to take a movie serious about a talking duck.
Right, of course, right.
That's the problem, right? So if you're asking an audience to take this movie seriously, yet it's about an anthropomorphic duck walking around in a suit, I think that the audience is going to have a hard time accepting.
Right.
And not assuming that it's just for little kids.
Exactly. But that's why I think the whole beginning sequence was important.
And no, I completely agree. I think that the beginning sequence in the film totally sets the tone.
Yeah, totally.
And again, this is a movie that, Lea Thompson almost fucked a duck on screen.
And we were okay with it. That's important to note.
Yeah. I was reading a little bit about the film, and apparently this film really hurt the careers of the people who were in it.
Yeah, everyone. I was going to...
Because they had a hard time working afterwards.
That's interesting. That brings me to the story of Jorah McClane, actually.
Yeah.
That kind of made me think, because I was wondering, because she's actually uncredited, and she's like a very important part in the movie. Crystal, the waitress, is by far my favorite part of this whole movie. She has a pretty small part, but I love this actress because in that tiny amount of time, I love her, and I'm not the only one. I started looking for her after I saw the movie because I wanted to see what else she had done, and I'm not the only one that looked her up. A lot of people looked her up. I found a tweet from Anders Holm from Workaholics, and he totally was tweeting about her, and it was so funny because people are looking for her. But I was wondering if that maybe she was uncredited on purpose, like for her own way. You know what I mean? Like to not be associated with the title. Like a lot happens.
Yeah. I mean, if the film is hurting the careers of Tim Robbins and Lea Thompson, I would assume you might want to be distanced from the film, right?
I don't know. I mean, I guess. Watching this movie now, I wouldn't say that, but I guess at that time.
I mean, she hasn't done anything since.
That's true. I mean, she's still noted for, I've only seen her for...
If you're looking for more horror outside of the mainstream, look no further than Unsung Horrors, a podcast about underseen horror movies. I'm Lance.
And I'm Erica. Every other week, we'll cover a horror movie with fewer than 1,000 views on Letterboxd. We'll even give you double feature recommendations to pair with the movies we discuss.
From gothic to shot on video, from slashers to comedies, from giallo to J-horror. We'll cover all the subgenres. So join us as we unearth these hidden gems of horror.
Follow us on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook, all at Unsung Horrors, available wherever you listen to podcasts. And part of the Someone's Favorite Productions podcast network.
Back to the Future. That's the only way I know her.
Lea Thompson?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I guess she's done some stuff, but, this and Back to the Future.
Yeah.
Kind of all I know her from, and the Left Behind movie.
Oh my God, I never saw that.
with Nick Cage.
No, I never saw that.
It's really bad.
I'm trying to say, I'm looking at her IMDb now. I don't think I've seen any of these movies. No, like the last thing I like really, I don't know. But I could see how a movie like this could totally screw up.
Oh yeah, no, I mean that makes perfect sense to me.
Yeah. It's interesting.
She's quite good looking in the film.
She is. She's so cute. I like her a lot. And she's like a really cool. Like I really liked her.
She's essentially just Cyndi Lauper, right?
Yeah, that's true.
Right? Like I don't know any other way to. Like if you were asking me to describe her character, it'd just be like Cyndi Lauper.
Yeah.
But I do want to talk about Tim Robbins' character in the film.
Yes.
Phil Blumbert. What the hell?
I'm not sure if I liked him or not the whole time, man.
I don't know what to think. Because his character almost is a mentally retarded person.
Like he does some weird things when you first see the character, and I'm like, I don't like when he sees him in the dressing room and he makes that weird noise. You know what I'm talking about? I think he quacks at Howard, and it's bizarre. It kind of takes you back, you know. Like I don't know you well enough for that.
I don't know you well enough. I didn't understand what he was going for.
Right. I think we were all lost on that.
And, it felt like his character was maybe trying to be endearing to Howard the Duck.
Right.
But
he kind of just was obnoxious and offensive.
Yeah, I mean, his character really didn't do a whole lot for me in the way of... I mean, he wasn't really that great of a sidekick either.
Yeah. I mean, he was useful at the end, I think, but up until that point, I kind of just didn't want anything to do with it. You know what I mean? He wasn't likable. I don't know. I could tell that he was supposed to be, though.
Yeah. And, the only cool thing about his character was that he was wearing a troll doll shirt.
I didn't even notice that, man.
He's wearing... In the end of the film, he's wearing a troll doll shirt. Which, of course, I know.
That's amazing.
But as one of Howard the Duck's other sidekicks in the movie, he's not great.
Yeah. He also doesn't seem that necessary.
Well, I mean, he's the whole scientist part of the film, but...
But so, I mean, yeah, that's true. But I don't know.
Even then, it's just his character doesn't really go anywhere. And there are long stretches of the film where he's not even around.
Right, yeah.
So...
While the plot's changing around, they gotta...
Right, yeah. I feel like his character could have been totally written out of the film.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Towards the second half, we don't really need it, you know? Or maybe it's just the first half you don't really need it.
At all.
Yeah.
At all. It's not that this movie's bad. I think that this movie really, like we said, I think it just really suffers from first half good, second half bad.
Yeah.
And that's not uncommon, really.
No way. And it's not even that I think that, I don't know, I didn't think the second half was terrible. It just definitely changed.
It wasn't as endearing as the first part of the film.
True, yeah.
And I didn't feel like Howard the Duck actually could do anything as a superhero.
I agree.
You know what I mean? I don't know. He's not much of a superhero in the sense of he actually has powers. He's just, Howard the Duck.
Yeah, he just has a different perspective. Yeah, that's totally what it is. That's why I think it works better as a fish out of water movie, like you said. That's what
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I completely agree. I feel like that is the best way to have approached this movie.
Exactly.
Is it's a fish out of water story when Howard the Duck's trying to get back home, and maybe they could have played it a little like E.T. and had the government trying to capture
it.
But
that could have been really cool. Yeah.
I think that would have been a better option than
trying to make it a superhero movie.
Well, trying to make it an alien thing.
Yeah.
Because you don't think you don't really associate Howard the Duck with being an alien. He's just a duck from another world.
Right, it's just a different dimension.
Yeah, so...
Oh, man. That's another thing I thought was pretty cool and timely at this point was, the multiverse. That's a lot. I don't know, I guess...
Right.
Maybe just because I just finished watching Rick and Morty. But
Have you seen Guardians of the Galaxy?
Yeah.
You know that there's a Howard the Duck cameo at the end of the film, right?
That's right. You know what? I didn't even... And I knew that was Howard the Duck, but I didn't realize... Now it makes a lot more sense.
And he's voiced by Seth MacFarlane?
I didn't know that.
Or no, excuse me. He's voiced by Seth Green.
I was gonna say what?
He's voiced by Seth Green.
Oh my god!
I mean, still.
I need to go back and watch it now because that cameo would be a lot more fun.
I hope that they make another Howard the Duck something.
Yeah,
I mean, they could make a Howard the Duck Netflix show and they could get away with that. Absolutely. I mean, they have. I feel like the Netflix Marvel shows are kind of the testing ground for new concepts and ideas.
Yeah.
I mean, like we were talking about at the beginning of the the podcast, the Jessica Jones movie or the Jessica Jones TV show is totally unlike anything else I've ever watched that Marvel has done.
Yeah, that's one of the best things about these new platforms rising is that we get to see new stuff, and I think that's the indie filmmaker's dream. You know what I mean? So like that's really cool.
Right. Well, before we wrap up, I did want to kind of because this is a Marvel movie, obviously. Have you seen any of the Marvel pre-MCU universe stuff?
No, not at all.
I mean, we're talking right now Howard the Duck, and then, the Punisher that had Dolph Lundgren in it.
That's right.
Captain America movie, which we've covered on the site on a Kulturecast. The Fantastic Four movie, which we've covered on the site in a written review. Then you have Blade, X-Men, Blade 2, the original Spider-Man trilogy, Daredevil, you have the Hulk, you have the Punisher and its subsequent remake, and then you have like Elektra and the Fantastic Four before the original Fantastic Four movies. It's surprising to me how many of these movies Marvel made pre-MCU that were not successful.
That's true. I mean, and I because out of that list, I never really saw any. I mean, I did see some of those, but they're not. It's not the same way that they are now, for sure.
Well, now it's very Disneyfied,
right? Of course,
which not a bad thing necessarily. I know that seems like a negative connotation.
But it's sort of its own corporation now. It's different. It's like
Disney has a little bit more of control over the properties, and they don't want to put out bad movies, and understandably so because it's Disney.
Right. Exactly.
But you look at Howard the Duck, which came out in '86, and then you look at a film like The Punisher, which came out 3 years later in '89, that barely even has any relationship to the comic book of the same name. He doesn't even wear the shirt with the skull on it. It's just Dolph Lundgren with black hair, which is absolutely as insane as it sounds. And then you have the Captain America film, which isn't terrible. I mean, it's not the worst thing I've ever seen. It's not, it in some respects it's better than the new Captain America film. And then the Fantastic Four movie is just the original Fantastic Four movie from the early 90s is absolute trash. But it took Marvel getting involved and licensing out their properties. So Howard the Duck came out in '86, and I would say that the first successful Marvel movie was X-Men in 2000. So it took them almost 15 years to get to a point where they're actually making a somewhat like decent superhero film.
Yeah, like a notable.
I mean, like that wouldn't happen anymore.
No way.
Superhero movies come out one a year at least?
At least.
Next year is going to be two. They have the Batman versus Superman movie, and then the Civil War movie.
That's right.
And
Guardians is coming out too next year, isn't it? Or is it?
And Deadpool and X-Men Apocalypse and Doctor Strange.
There's an abundance nowadays.
Do you think that bubble's going to burst?
I mean, it's going to, of course. It's just like everything in this industry, like it gets played out. It'll transform again, I'm sure. But everything sort of ebbs and flows. I mean, that's sort of what's happening with TV right now. It's imploding on itself.
Yeah, I don't know how long it'll take, but I feel like once we get to 2019, which is 4 years from now, obviously, and we have Infinity War Part 1 and Part 2 and all that, I feel like they'll have a time that they can decide where do we go from here,
right?
Because the Infinity War shit is really kind of the end of this.
Yeah. And
what this is now.
The thing is, we also have series now they're pumping out like crazy. You know what I mean? That they're also incorporating into the films. Like it's nuts. Like it's going to be insane.
Well, I'm always curious. With Marvel doing all of this, is Daredevil from the Netflix show going to show up in the movies at some point? Is Jessica Jones and Luke Cage going to show up in the movies at some point?
Absolutely. I mean,
for as high a quality as the TV shows are, the movies are really, are the place you want to be with the film.
Yeah, totally.
With your
the stories. Yeah, exactly. And they're doing that. I mean, they've been talking about that with every series that they're talking about making they're talking about making an Arrow movie, right? And also a Flash movie, and they're not talking about the same actors.
Well, the Flash is going to be in one of the movies.
Really?
Yeah, he's the Flash is. They actually have recast the Flash as someone different for the movies.
Right. That's what I meant.
Yeah. I mean, I think you're right. I think it is a bubble that's going to burst. I don't think it'll be anytime soon.
No. We still have
as long as the movies keep making money. Yeah. I mean, you have a movie like Fantastic Four, the one that just came out, had a budget of $120 million, made $167 million, and it was awful.
Yeah. God.
I mean, it was absolutely garbage.
Oh, but I don't think you get enough. You don't get too many chances like that. Eventually.
No, you don't.
You don't. Yeah.
You totally don't. And I think that, looking back at a film like Howard the Duck, a film that was a Marvel movie, it is, on Wikipedia under list of films based on Marvel Comics. It's the second one in live action films after a Captain America film from 1944. So this is the original Marvel movie.
That's interesting.
More or less.
Yeah,
right?
Absolutely. It's the beginning of a new era for sure.
And I think that if this movie got made today, I think it would, with some kind of touching up of some of the themes, I think that this movie could work.
Absolutely. I mean, they would definitely make it to where it would sell tickets. You know what I mean?
Ant-Man came out earlier this year. Ant-Man was a very comedic superhero.
Right.
Movie.
It was ridiculous, essentially. I mean, people went to see that, And
it was good. I actually enjoyed it. And I myself have been very critical of the Marvel product because I just think that they're oversaturating the market.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, I mean, Paul Rudd was a great cast choice for that, I think. I want to see
because it was a comedic film.
Right.
I honestly think they could make another Howard the Duck movie.
I totally think they could, and they probably will. I
think they could and should.
Yeah.
And if they don't, I think they've got a property that they're wasted.
Totally. I mean, I think it's like I said before. This wasn't from this. I missed this. I was born a few years after this, and I still know what it is. You know what I mean? I think it could totally be brought, and I don't have a negative connotation when I hear it. So I think it could totally be remade, and it would totally work for a new audience.
Yeah. No, I completely agree. I feel like this movie really just has gotten kind of just shit lumped on it constantly.
I know, and I kind of think maybe unnecessarily. Because it's not a bad movie.
No, I really don't.
Comparatively speaking, I mean, come on.
I mean, hell, Marvel could even make a Walt Disney Animated Studios version of this film.
Absolutely.
I mean, they did it with Big Hero 6.
That's right.
Yeah. Skip it or watch it, and best performance.
Oh man, I gotta say you gotta watch it. It was hard to get through for me, but I'm glad I finally saw it. And I now can understand so many pop culture references. Stand-up performance, easily Crystal the waitress. I gotta give her props just because the kind of role it was, and was amazing. But out of the main cast, I think I gotta say Jeffrey. What's it, Jeffrey Jones? Is that what his name is?
Yeah, Jeffrey Jones.
He was great. He was really impressive. I liked his role a lot.
Yeah, he was pretty good in the movie.
He was fun. Like, it's a great character. I just wish the character, I don't know, that storyline, but he was great.
he fully commits to that character.
He does, man.
Yeah. For me, it's a watch. I had heard nothing but bad things about this movie, and I don't think this movie is nearly as bad as everybody has just told me.
Yeah.
And for me, the best performance is going to have to be the voice of Chip Zien and Ed Gale, who is one of, I would say, everyone who's in the Howard the Duck suit and Chip Zien. So just the character of Howard the Duck in its entirety, I think, is the best part of this film.
It is pretty simple.
He looks a little, he looks a little hokey, but I mean, it's the mid '80s. Jesus, what do you want?
Exactly.
I would rather have a guy in a duck suit in a movie than a fully CGI performance.
I agree, and there was some good acting you could get through that character. I thought it was cool. Yeah.
What do you think the film has on Rotten Tomatoes?
I gotta just from what I've heard, I've only heard positive things. So I'm gonna say. I'm going to say not a 0%. I'm going to say let me say 40%.
14%.
Oh, 14.
While it has its moments, Howard the Duck suffers from an uneven tone and mediocre performances.
Oh, I disagree with the mediocre performances, but I agree with the first.
I disagree as well. I think if anything,
the performances were not mediocre, y'all. Come on.
I think if anything, Tim Robbins' performance was too over the top.
Yeah, exactly. That's like
mediocre. If they had said over the top as opposed to mediocre, I would have completely
Right,
agreed.
I can agree with that, but that's not to say it's bad.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was a little disjointed.
So before I talk about this Thursday's Kulturecast, Sean, anything you want to plug?
No, I'm just going to say follow me on Twitter. I'm Seanifer, and then like me on Facebook, Sean Liang. Thank you.
Thank you. You can follow me on Twitter at Kulturestash. And if you like what you're listening to now, make sure to check out our entire backlog. They are 100% free over at cultureshock.com. We also have movie reviews, video game reviews, and a little bit of wrestling. So make sure to check those out. This Thursday, we're going to be talking about another movie, So Bad They're Still Bad. And that movie is The Oogie Loves and the Big Balloon Adventure. I guarantee you've never heard of it. It's probably a good thing. Oh, God. Well, make sure to check that one out.